Hello, I'm Josh, and this is my routing protocol presentation. Routing protocols determine how your data gets to its destination and helps to make that routing process as smooth as possible. Routing protocols are categorized into three different categories: static routing, default static routing, and dynamic/adaptive routing, which I'll refer to as dynamic routing throughout this presentation. This video will give a simple overview of dynamic routing and give 4 examples of dynamic routing protocols. Here is a diagram showing the categories in dynamic routing. Dynamic routing is split into 2 categories: IGP, which stands for Interior Gateway Protocols, and EGP, which stands for Exterior Gateway Protocols. IGPs are used within a network to connect routers and other networking devices. In addition, EGPs are used outside networks to join other networks. These two then have their own categories. IGPs have link state protocols, distance vector protocols, and hybrid protocols, whereas EGPs have path vector protocols. Now I'll go through a few examples and explain. OSPF is a very frequently used protocol among companies. It stands for Open Shortest Path First. This means the protocol uses topology mapping to find the fastest route in the network. It uses Dijkstra's algorithm to do its calculations. The advantages and disadvantages of OSPF include: it is scalable, so it is used in large networks. It is very fast because it takes into account speed, bandwidth, delay, all that. There is no limitation on its hop count. Its disadvantages include: it needs an intensive processor and it takes up a lot of memory, and it's also difficult to configure. RIP stands for Routing Information Protocol. It is a distance vector protocol, meaning it will take into account the amount of hops as opposed to the amount of speed measured in OSPF. It employs the Bellman-Ford algorithm. The advantages and disadvantages include: it is easy to configure, does not require an update every time the topology of network changes, guaranteed to support almost all routers. The disadvantages include: only based on hop count, so if there was a better route available with better bandwidth, then it will not select that route. It also doesn't scale very well to large networks due to its low hop count of 15. EIGRP stands for Enhanced Interior Gateway Routing Protocol. It is a hybrid of link state protocols and distance vector protocols. So it takes both elements from each of them. It uses the diffused update algorithm, and it usually considers bandwidth, load, and the reliability. The advantages and disadvantages include: it is able to look at many different characteristics of a network. This may include like link state ones, bandwidth and speed, but also stuff from a distance vector protocol as well. It does contain a large hop count of 255, but it is still not very commonly used in large networks. You can look at it as an evolved version of the RIP protocol. Its disadvantages include: not good at dealing with big hierarchical networks, doesn't fit very well in a large network. BGP stands for Border Gateway Patrol. It is a path vector, which means it calculates the best path outside networks to transmit data packets. It consists of certain path attributes, including weight, local preference, origin, path length, origin type, and router ID. Its advantages and disadvantages include: it is highly efficient, implementable on a large scale, prevents loops when there are multiple physical links, load balances over redundant links. Disadvantages include: it's got stability issues, no digital IDs, which leads it to possible cyber attacks, and it has misconfiguration issues. In conclusion, companies should always consider the type of network routing protocol they implement so they can maximize efficiency in data transferring. Thank you for listening.